you guys? Welcome back to the Fumble Live. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you do that now. Tap the bell for notifications. Give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment below. We have a lot of basketball news to get into. We're talking about the Suns, how they swept the Nuggets, but also how people are really upset about that Nikola Jokic ejection. We're also getting into the Bucks versus Nets series, how it is tied right now, and whether or not Giannis deserved a foul call for landing on Kyrie's foot. So make sure you do all the things I mentioned before. Subscribe, tap the bell, leave a comment below. Now here's the Fumble Squad. I'm Devin Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevinHoward.
Happy Monday, everybody. I'm Jackie Ray. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter @JRayTheFanatic. Happy birthday. How was your birthday? This is Devin's birthday weekend, you guys. Welcome back from the birthday weekend.
Yes, I was the birthday bitch last night or last weekend. I had a great time. I was in downtown San Diego. I grew up in San Diego, but I don't typically go out downtown. When I'm home, I just hang out with my family and I just like relax and eat Thai food and hang out with my dogs. So this was really maybe my first time ever actually going out and socializing and going to a bar and all that. So it was a really, really good time. Definitely a birthday weekend for the books. I was just telling you guys before we went live, I am exhausted today. So bear with me if I struggle through some, like I've been stumbling over my words all morning today. So it's going to be a little bit of a rough one. Jackie, before we dive into the news, I like that we're representing, you can't really tell, but my shirt's purple. We're representing the Lakers right now. We didn't even mean to. We just always have that Lakers spirit in our heads. Really good. Feeling good. Pushing for that 2022 finals win. That's what our attention is on right now. Jackie, how was your weekend? What did you get up to?
I know I said I wasn't going to work this weekend, but I actually did work this weekend. I had to do some work in Long Beach. But the most important work that I did is I finished my balcony. So I have I'm a full-on grown-up now. I have patio furniture. So I can literally, I never in my life, I got patio furniture. I can chill on my balcony now, get some sun, drink some wine. I feel good. I feel like a full-on grown-up. It's amazing.
Oh my God, congratulations. So when are you inviting us over?
I was going to say, now that my place is all set up, now I have to actually I've always said, I'm going to have a housewarming party, but I've never really liked my place enough. But now I got to have it. So I'll let you know. It's coming up, though.
Yay! Oh my gosh, so exciting. You guys, we're going to be having a rager at Jackie's. Everyone's invited.
Well, not everyone. Hold on.
Kidding. Okay, let's get into the news because we have a lot to talk about here, you guys. So the Suns swept the Nuggets, and now Phoenix is advancing to the Western Conference Finals, but people are focusing a lot of their attention on that Nikola Jokic ejection, and they're wondering, was it really that called for? So a lot of people do think that he was just going straight for the ball. Leo, let's start rolling that clip right now. It's a quick one here, but let's take a look at it. To me, observe. To me, it looks like he's going for the ball. I don't think that he was doing anything that deserved an ejection here. But he did accidentally hit Cameron Payne in the face. So, the refs reacted. He was thrown out of the game, and people were definitely upset about that because he's the league MVP right now. This was a win or go home game, and he got ejected. So there were a lot of reactions on Twitter. Leo, let's get the first reaction up there from other NBA athletes. The first one. Oh, this is coming up in a little bit, actually.
Monty Williams and CP3, Chris Paul.
We're going to watch this a lot today because that was just a beautiful moment in time. So get used to that.
Yes, I love that moment. We're going to be talking about that in a little bit, but let's talk about these tweets first. John Morant tweeted, playoffs, elimination game, give him a flagrant one and play ball, man. And then he followed that up with another tweet that said, league soft. This is a sentiment that we hear a lot. Trae Young also responded to this moment, writing a flagrant 2. Wow. There was another tweet coming up here from Russell Wilson. They really just kicked this man out of the game. Wow. And then another one that says, Joker looks scary like the real Joker, like he got a couple hitman the way he looked at Booker. I thought that one was just funny. That one wasn't really a reaction to the moment, but just he looks scary like the real Joker. Wow. So after the game, he actually spoke to the media and he explained what he was trying to do. He said that he was just trying to get aggressive to give his team some energy before the fourth quarter. He said, quote, I wanted to change the rhythm of the game. I wanted to give us some energy, maybe change the whistle a little bit. So I wanted to make a hard foul. Did I hit him? Did I not hit him? We don't know. So I say sorry if I did, because I did not want to injure him or hit him in the head on purpose. And then when asked what he thought the refs would do, he said, I thought, honestly, they would not eject me. So we're going to break that down in a second. Actually, Jackie, before we talk about this Chris Paul moment, I want to ask you, was this the right call? And if so, or let's start with that. Was this the right call?
Absolutely not. That was we've seen worse, I think actually, not to share the Lakers, but I've seen Dennis Schroeder commit harder fouls than that and not get a flagrant. He was definitely going for the ball. I think Payne just definitely, I remember, I don't think it was Reggie. One of them said, oh, there goes Payne, down in pain. Like they made it a kind of a joke or whatever. But he definitely acted. He definitely deserves the Oscar for that moment in time. But I think what bothers me about this is the ref. I could see in that moment, especially considering how he, was trying to win that Oscar, that you would think, okay, this is worthy of an ejection. What bothers me about this is the refs had time to go and review this and see it because, standing behind it in real time, it probably does look like a flagrant. But they had time to review it. They had time to go and see that he was going for the ball. I don't think he hit him in the face. It was more of a graze, to be honest. And then he just played it up. And to eject him for that, when we've seen, first of all, on like 2 series before that, Joker damn near got murdered in the paint, and not only did they not call a flagrant for that, they didn't call any foul at all. And then now I will admit that it was probably a frustration foul on the part of Joker. He definitely, like he said, was trying to make something happen. And you appreciate that because there were moments, even after he got ejected, there were moments where they were down by 6, down by 8, and it looked like they could actually do something to not get eliminated in this game. But now you don't have Jamal Murray in the game. Now you take out your MVP. I think it was the absolute wrong call to make, not just because Joker's the MVP, but because it was the wrong call. Flagrant 1, maybe, but flagrant 2 and an ejection, it's a horrible call. And I really think the NBA needs to do something about these refs, because I think as fans, just even the casual fan, you want to see a good competition. You don't like these and they're going to happen regardless. But these what if Joker had played? What if? I mean, if it's an injury that takes him out, then okay, that's just one of those things you can't help. But it should never be a ref who has an opportunity to get the call right and they get it wrong and take out any shot you have of winning this game. It's a horrible thing. And I really think that it needs to be something that they review. Kevin Lane said it looks worse in the replay. For me, in the replay, it looks better than it did in real time. In real time, I was like, oh, damn, Joker, what the hell you doing? And then when I saw it in replay, I was like, oh, he was just going for the ball and his arms are big. You know what I mean? It didn't look as bad, especially when on the playback and in slow motion. It didn't look nearly as bad as it looked in real time. And that's what I'm saying. When you have the opportunity to play it back and see it in real time, then that's when you say, oh, he was going for the ball. And for the most part, it looked like it was kind of all ball, but maybe he grazed your nose or something. Because like I said, his arms are fat. So it just didn't, it wasn't those, it definitely wasn't a flagrant 2. Flagrant 1, if you feel like it, fine, but it's definitely not a flagrant 2.
So Kevin in the chat really is the only one, at least so far that I've seen, that agrees with this call by the refs. I think watching the replay, it looks better than it did in real time as well. I don't think he deserved to be kicked out of the game at all.
I'm with Doug, and see, I felt the same way, and I was like, I'm gonna give Payne the benefit of the doubt. But in the replay, I didn't see any contact to the face, none. But I was like, I know Joker got big arms, so perhaps there was a graze, and that triggered his acting because he started acting it up, So, but I'm with you, Doug. I didn't see any contact to the face in the replay. So for me, the replay was much better. I can getting it wrong in real time because in real time it did look bad, but not in the replay, not to me anyway.
Yeah, JD says the face was on accident. If contact to the face even happened, it was an accident. And then There was another one in here from Chris A. Cristobal who said it should have been, I can't find a specific thing, but he said it should have been a flagrant 1, not a 2. And, if it's going to be called for anything, a 1 definitely makes more sense than the 2. The ejection doesn't make sense to me. I think that that was not the right move here. Jackie, do you think that it really ended up swinging the game in the Suns' way, in the Suns' favor, or do you think that the Suns would have walked away with the win regardless of this moment here?
I mean, that's hard to say because, like I said, there were moments in time where the Nuggets looked like, okay, they're trying to come back, and they were down at the time when Joker got ejected, but like he said, he was trying to shift that momentum going into the fourth quarter because the third quarter has been very crucial for the Denver Nuggets every single game. So being down in the third quarter, trying to shift that momentum going into the fourth quarter, that was something that Joker wanted to do, and it made sense. And for them to be that close in the game, and then you take your MVP out, it did kind of suck the wind out of them. They did get close again. I think one more time they got within 6. But then after that, once they hit that 9 points mark, they had no life left in them, to be honest. They had no fight. And I think it's because you don't have Jamal out there. You don't have Joker out there. And I just think, it's one of those things that it's a what if. Ultimately, do I think the Suns would have won? Probably. But then I can't say that 100% because, like I said, the Nuggets were on this little baby run to try to bring it back. And they were going to definitely do everything they could to try to force, to not get swept. But, with Joker not out there, it was kind of just a given. I think people just kind of started giving up, and it just happened like that.
Yeah, it's definitely not good for the team energy and the team psyche to see the league MVP and, a player like him getting kicked out. So that was pretty unfortunate. Despite that questionable call, though, this is a moment worth celebrating, especially for Chris Paul and the Suns in general. So Chris Paul and Monty Williams hugged after the game. Jackie's diving more into this moment and their kind of special bond in the post-up. But let's just take a second here and watch this clip again. Leo, can you throw up that Chris Paul clip for us?
After the game.
Oh, look at this.
A lot of love here between Monty Williams and CP3, Chris Paul. A lot of history.
Paul was talking about the attention to detail.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. It's really heartwarming to see them like that. So Chris Paul's 36, like LeBron, which I forget about that for some reason. I don't remember that he is the same age as LeBron. So would you say that this is Chris Paul's greatest moment, Jackie?
Ooh, greatest. I mean, Chris Paul has had a lot of great moments. I think this one just resonates more for us because we actually can see the light at the end of this tunnel. I think, one of the things that this series, not even this series, this playoffs have really kind of hammered in the nail for is that everyone in the league loves Chris Paul, no matter who you are. When Chris Paul has gone down, everyone, both sides of the ball have wished him well and have really wanted him to do well. And some of that is because he's traveled to so many teams and he knows so many people. Other parts of it is he is a really good guy and people just really want him to succeed. I never forget he's 36. I always have him 2 years older than LeBron for some reason. I don't know if he looks older than LeBron to me, but I'm always Chris Paul is 36. I always want to say 38. But I think for me, it's just one of those moments in time where this is a guy that he is a tattletale. That's one of the things that, we talked about before. He will tell on you, but that's his job. He knows all the rules in basketball. That's part of his job, and that's what he will do. And so, he's going to give his team the best chance to win, even if it means snitching on you. But even with that, nobody has lost a level of respect for him because he's so good at what he does. His basketball IQ is insane. I saw somebody in the chat said Chris Paul was the real MVP. I had said that. I had said the fact that Chris Paul wasn't in the MVP conversation is weird to me because we're going from a team that was really good and just his presence elevated the Suns exponentially. The guy's amazing. And just to see, I think we're all pulling for him. Even if you're not a Suns fan, which I know most of us in the chat and myself are not, you're pulling for him specifically. So it makes everything on that team just this beautiful thing. And to see Monty Williams, and like Devin said, y'all get used to that image because I'm going to show it one more time because it was just so beautiful. But we're going to talk about what Monty Williams said, which is, again, one of those hash marks in the Chris is really a dope dude. And he's just that guy that you just don't, it's just nothing bad I could say about him. Even if with him snitching, I giggle every time he does it. I'm like, look at Chris Paul out there telling on people. He's so silly. It never bothers me in the way that it would bother me if somebody else did it, because he's just Chris Paul. And I just love that he's having this moment in time. It's very well deserved and very hard earned. He's worked very, very hard for this moment in time, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy to see what he's doing with this team.
Me too. I am happy for him as well. It was a nice moment to see that, and I'm excited to see how they do in the Western Conference Finals. Let's move on. Let's talk about the Bucks versus the Nets, because now that series is tied, and Kyrie Irving went down with that ankle sprain. So that was definitely the game's biggest play. Arguably, like, that was it. That was the moment everybody was talking about. Giannis moved toward Kyrie while Kyrie was already in the air, and he laid the ball in. Then Kyrie landed on Giannis's foot, twisting his ankle. Kyrie fell to the floor. You could tell that he was hurt right away. And Giannis ran up the court to continue playing until the whistle was called, and then Kyrie left the game for good. He was seen wearing a boot. Giannis was not called for a foul, but many people think that he should have been. A lot of people felt like it was a dirty play by him. So let's watch that clip here.
As he goes up, Antetokounmpo comes in, and he steps right on the foot, and you can see the...
Yikes. So here, you guys can watch it again here. Even Jalen Rose said that he felt the NBA should give Giannis a flagrant foul retroactively for not moving out from underneath Kyrie Irving. In his interview with ABC after the game, Giannis actually talked about the incident, and he said, quote, "I don't know, I thought he got hit in the groin at first. He went back to the locker room. They said it was a sprained ankle. I hope he'll be back for game 5, but we got to keep focusing on ourselves." The Bucks head coach also said that he didn't know how the injury really happened. He hadn't had a chance to watch the tape of it at all. He said, quote, "I have no idea what happened on Kyrie's injury. I think I know it's a twisted ankle." And then Jeff Green, the Nets center, also said that he wouldn't admit that Giannis really did anything outrageously wrong. He said, "I'm not going to sit here and say he did that or whatever happened. It happened on purpose. I think it's just something that happens throughout basketball." If Kyrie does have to stay out for the rest of the season and the Bucks end up winning, that'll be a historic moment in NBA basketball. I think it's going to be a one that kind of, like, people think about for a long time, changes history a little bit. So, Jackie, what do you think about Giannis in this moment? Did he deserve to be called for a foul?
No, first and foremost, that's not a foul. It's an unfortunate situation. You can tell Giannis was just positioning himself for the ball, and that's it. And he's a big guy, and unfortunately, when you're that big, it's easy to get in the way of people. And that's just what happened. He's a big guy. He was trying to put himself in a position so he could come down with the ball. And unfortunately, Kyrie came down on his ankle and just landed very, very awkwardly. I've seen this exact same play. Guys come down on somebody's foot, and it's just kind of a little trip, and it doesn't amount to anything. It's just one of these perfect storms where he landed completely wrong, and you could see his ankle just bending. And then when he was on the ground and the trainers came out, he said, he's like, "I just need a minute." He couldn't even stand up because he was in so much pain. So I think all of the Nets, everyone in Brooklyn kind of gasped at that moment, because we know that James Harden is at least out for game 5. I don't have any kind of timeline as to when he will be back, because as soon as I saw Kyrie go down, that's what I started investigating. Like, okay, well, what's up with James Harden? How soon is he going to come back? And there's no timeline. All they're saying is he's definitely out for game 5. So now it becomes, I think Kevin Pryor in the chat said this, now we're talking about a different Nets. Now we're talking about a KD and Blake Griffin Nets, and is that enough? And so we've seen KD, and I'm not even trying to shade KD, because I think this is a team sport, and I hate when we put everything on the shoulders of one guy, even though that is what happens. But we see KD went to a stacked team before to get that ring. Now he's on a stacked team again by design. So is he the guy that can do this by himself? I'm going to say no, but he's not completely by himself. A lot of guys, the Nets have stepped up. The whole squad has stepped up, and we've seen that when they're not there, when KD, Kyrie, or James Harden are not there, they have stepped up. But now it's a little bit more concerning when you don't have a timeline on when James Harden is back. And I can tell from the way that Kyrie came down, he's done. He's not. Mm-hmm. Until next season. He's not coming back. So you guys can count that one out. But it's one of these situations is, how are we going to make this adjustment? Steve Nash said now, because Kyrie is so dope at what he does, he says that they have to cover his position by committee. That is the most concerning statement outside of Giannis saying maybe we'll win, which was concerning, but they won, so it's okay. But him saying we have to cover his position by committee, that if I was a Brooklyn Nets fan, I would be terrified right now, because now you're saying you have to get a bunch of guys to do the job of just one. That's too easy to shut down if you're the other team. You know what I mean? That's just too easy to shut down. So it's a very concerning situation if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan. And of course, Kyrie is just, you don't want to see anybody go out like that, especially a guy like Kyrie, who is like, he's exactly what people call him, the point guard. He's amazing. But these injuries are just unnerving this season. It's just been so many of them on every single team. And it's just, I don't know. I feel so bad for this man. I'm going to get into somebody that I absolutely despise saying some out the way stuff. Ooh, I hate this man, but we're gonna get into that in the post stuff in a minute.
Don't get heated yet, Jackie. Got a couple more questions for you. The chat, though, I mean, I'm reading the chat right now. It's interesting here because Kevin L. Lang says that's a standard box out. Other people, Michael Mindrov says Giannis is not dirty. That wasn't a dirty play. But then I think Doug said that it was a flagrant one for sure. I think looking at that clip again, I feel like Giannis doesn't deserve a foul there. People say he should have moved out of the way. Things are moving so quickly in that moment. And we have seen this kind of injury happen before. It's obviously so tragic for Kyrie. I feel so bad for him, but you can't expect somebody like Giannis, who's 7 feet tall, however tall he is, giant, to be able to just move out of the way that quickly in a matter of probably half a second. It's just too much but then Vital Sassoon says Giannis did this purposely. He got under him. I just don't see that. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Let me say this. Giannis purposely positioned himself to make sure that he had the best opportunity to get the rebound. That's what Giannis did on purpose. Giannis did not purposely position himself thinking, hey, if I put my foot right here, Kyrie is going to come down and spray. Stop it. That don't even make sense. You are supposed to, and I get on the Lakers all the time because they are notorious for this. And the guys, no matter what side of the ball is on, it is, whether it's offense or defense, somebody will take a team doesn't have another opportunity to score. This is basic. This ain't even like top level high IQ basketball stuff. This is what you learn in elementary school. You need to box out and try to get the rebound. And that's what he was doing. And it's unfortunate what happened. I definitely don't think it was intentional. And I'm with everybody else until I saw the replay. And even on the replay, you can see Giannis is looking up and trying to get the ball. His intentions were the ball, not Kyrie. And it wasn't intentional. And like he said, he hopes he's okay. And I felt horrible seeing Kyrie on the ground writhing in pain like that. And I'm sure Giannis did too, because Giannis is a good dude. And I just don't think that he did anything like this intentional.
I don't think so either. I'm going to read one more chat and then move on to another quick, short conversation about the Nets. JD says Giannis is right under him, though. Just like shooters, you stick your leg out under the shooter's player, you will get a flagrant foul. So JD obviously thinks that a foul would have been the right call here. We don't agree. I don't think watching that clip, I don't think that the foul would have been justified at all. But now let's talk about the Nets a little bit, because you already touched on this a little bit, Jackie, how now it's basically KD and Blake Griffin carrying the team. It feels kind of similar and reminiscent to the times that LeBron has been said, like, oh, LeBron needs to carry the team, and if he can't do it, like, well, what's his legacy? Is he really the GOAT or whatever? Well, can KD do it all? And do you think that this is the same kind of pressure that LeBron has faced in the past about carrying a team for KD?
No, it's not the same kind of pressure at all, because he, and again, not taking anything away from KD. KD didn't come into the league with this savior tattoo on his back. LeBron did. LeBron at 18 was supposed to be the savior of Cleveland. And if he didn't, that meant he failed. So the level of pressure that he has felt, and the lack of, it's rare that I've ever heard anybody when it comes to LeBron saying the things that I say for everybody in this league, and that it is a team sport. And it's immensely difficult. Although we've seen LeBron do it, it is immensely difficult to do this by yourself. there have been times that LeBron has literally had to put the whole squad on his back and carry them. And that is immensely difficult to do. I honestly don't wish that on anybody. I don't think that that is something, when you are on a team of guys, I don't think that that is something that you should have to do. Specifically in situations like this, I get how detrimental it is to a team to lose your star player. But these young guys, this is your opportunity. This is your next man up situation. This is your time to prove that you are the guy that should have this spot. And I expect you guys to come out there and play your ass off. I mean, that's just what I expect. I expect you to earn a starting spot, if not on this squad, on the next squad. That's what I expect. And I expect as an organization that you have positioned yourself as far as your bench to act accordingly in case these type of things happen. That was one of the reasons why when the Warriors were in their heyday, that's one of the reasons why they were so successful, because anybody could beat you. Just because one person came out didn't mean anything, because that bench was heavy. So it is one of those things where, yes, it's extremely unfortunate. This is definitely a different situation for the Nets, because now you have to really, and here's the thing, and I know I throw shade at this man a lot, but it's not going to stop today. The inexperience of Steve Nash is about to show. I'm going to tell you that right now, because now he's really going to have to start coaching, because now you don't have your 3-star players out there where you can sit back and go, good job, guys. Good job. Like, you have to be more than a cheerleader. Now you have to start coaching, and you're going to see the inexperience of Steve Nash like that. It's going to be tragic. It's going to be bad. It's horrible, because I feel like I'm going to lose another challenge accepted bet, because I had said that they would at least go to the conference finals. I can't lose more bets on challenge accepted. Just know I ain't accepting no more challenges. I'm tired of losing this damn bet. But you're definitely going to see the inexperience of Steve Nash immediately. It's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting to watch, because he walked into something great right away. So there wasn't a lot that needed to be coached there. But now it's going to be a different time. This is a new look Nets. So we'll have to see how KD and Blake Griffin are able to handle this kind of pressure. And yeah, it'll be interesting. I had the Nets taking this series. Now I'm not so sure. Now I think it's going to be the Bucks. Right? And Jackie, I feel like you might be with me on that one, which sucks.
I am, but I don't want to be, because I don't want to lose another damn bet. I am tired of losing these challenges. This was an easy bet for me. I was like, oh, I got this one in the bag. It ain't nothing. And then when I saw Kyrie go down, I was like, damn it.
Jackie, you brought this on yourself with a show called Challenge Accepted. So that's on you. Let's get into the post up, though, because we have so much to cover, and I want to hear everything that you've got to say. So let's do it.
Yes, let's get into it. Like I said earlier, it's impossible not to love Chris Paul on some level. We're gonna watch this one more time, because I just love this, and I just need y'all to really embrace how Monty Williams is embracing Chris Paul, especially before you hear what he had to say about it. So take a look one more time.
Sportsmanship after the game. Look at this. A lot of love here between Monty Williams and CP3, Chris Paul.
That was just one of those. It was one of those moments where I wish I knew exactly what was said from Monty Williams to Chris Paul. But of course, he was asked after the game, a little bit about the hug and what that meant. And now I need to know even more. But take a listen.
I wanted to take a second to just, feel that for a second with him and Book. Chris has meant so much to my career. He's meant so much to my life. I've shared it with a few people, but at the darkest moment of my life, Chris was right there. And, one of the highlights of my career, he's right there. And so I'm just grateful to God for him and all of our guys. And that's where it is right now. I'm not really good at waxing eloquent about how I feel, other than just telling you I just feel grateful for this opportunity and to be on this team in this moment and have a chance to move forward.
And that was just a beautiful moment in time, just to see that kind of love, and for him to say, it's kind of a full circle moment. I would love to dive deeper into, what that moment was that caused him to say that Chris was there for the darkest moment in his life. But then again, that might be something very private, and he's going to keep that one close to his chest, which I get that one. But I absolutely love this. One of the reporters said that was just one moment in time, that he actually dove much deeper in his love for the team. So I think I have a tweet from her. And when she said that, she said, this was just the opening question. Monty Williams talked a bunch more tonight about what Chris Paul has meant to him and to this team. And that was just so emotional for me watching that out. Cause you see the hug and then you see the little post game. I didn't watch his full post game interview. But I saw part of it and it was very emotional. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get weepy. But I'm not the only one. I know sometimes I'm a big crybaby, not that often, but he says, why you do this? Suns fan. And it's an emoji of some guy crying. And then this one, the one on the bottom says, damn, now I'm crying. It's just, everyone was so emotional. Like, what is this liquid substance that is leaking from my eye? It was such a beautiful moment in time. I absolutely, absolutely love this so much. Devin, I know you love this too. And it's just one of those moments where when you see this coach that he, started and hopefully gets to get to the finish line with somebody who uplifted him in his darkest time. I don't know what that is, and I doubt we ever will, but to know that Chris Paul stepped in and was like, no, I got you, and you're not just a coach to me, you're actually a friend. This is so beautiful. I love it.
I know. I mean, you guys know I'm a big softie. As much as I like to drag people for their improper punctuation and grammar, I am very sensitive, and this definitely hit me in the feels. Even seeing them just kind of hug after the game like that, you can tell there's just so much love there. They have such a strong bond, and I'm excited to see them advancing into the Western Conference Finals like this. It's just really exciting for them.
Yeah, and Kevin, I totally forgot about that. Kevin Pryor in the chat he reminded me what happened. He says, Monty Williams' wife died several years ago in a car accident, and CP3 was the consoling force. I totally forgot about his wife passing away in that car accident, but that's got to be the worst feeling in the world to lose your life partner. And so for Chris, and he just seems like Chris is a family man. So I can definitely see Chris being the one that not only opened his heart, but probably opened his family too. Like, we're here for you, anything you need. So that's a beautiful thing. Love Chris Paul, love Monty Williams, love the love. I can't help it. I can't help but wish them all the best. So we're going to move on to somebody that I'm not going to wish the best. Somebody that I want him to keep on his eating habit so he can get whatever the future holds for him, because this little big baby fool gets on my last nerves. Y'all know I can't stand Big Baby Davis. This is not the first time I have said that. Even he's so big, even our letters didn't fit on the damn title. That's how big this man is, because he eats too damn much. But that's nonetheless, while everyone, LeBron tweeted about Kyrie going down and he said the F word, so I didn't post that one. Donovan Mitchell was like, oh, prayers up for Kyrie. There was a lot of other tweets about, oh my gosh, this is terrible, the injuries, blah, 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 blah. And then here come big baby, dumbass baby. And what he got to say. And he says, so the sideline says, Kyrie Irving won't return for second half with a right ankle sprain. And then here goes a lethal shooter. We've had talked to him a lot. Hate to see this get well. And look at that. Look what Big Baby Davis, somebody need to take his blue check mark away. Says that's the same ankle. That's the same ankle stomp on Lucky. First of all, you big dummy. That's the same ankle he stomped on Lucky with. Stomped should be past tense. Get your grammar right, you big. Ugh, I can't stand this man. But anyway, I cannot. You out here trying to clown somebody and you can't even spell. You big dummy. You big dummy. Oh, I cannot stand this man at all. Like, ooh. Anyway, so of course, people on Instagram, because that's where he posted this originally. He posted it on Instagram. And so, of course, people on Instagram were clowning him. He said, where was that energy against Kevin Garnett? Crybaby ass dude. Yeah, where was all that? You big 2.3 averaging point. Let's get to this next one. He says, I kind of understand where you're coming from, but I disagree. Kyrie been championing all things positive, and the one time he gets a vengeance on a former team, it's karma. Mind you, he has been injury prone throughout his career. He didn't get his vengeance on no team. It was paint on the floor. It's paint on the floor. Okay, anyway, let me get to this next one. Says, you average more comments per post than you did in the league. Come on now. That's facts. By the time you finished, sir, you were averaging 2.3 points per game. So Instagram got him, but Twitter got him better with their comments, because this one says, really? A grown-ass man complaining about someone stomping on a cartoon leprechaun? But his nickname isn't Big Baby for no reason. And that is a fact. I'm going with Big Dummy. Y'all can keep calling him Big Baby if you want to. He's forever and officially Big Dummy around here. Let me get to this last tweet. Says grown ass man being concerned about an effing cartoon character than an actual person's entire season effort being at risk of getting voided. I hope people rub their booty cheeks on Lucky and Kyrie pisses on it the next time they visit the garden. What did I say the last time? Didn't I say that? I said I wish he would have peed on it. Now, look, I volunteer as tribute to go out there and do this for Kyrie. Let me see Lucky. Let me see Lucky. And I'm gonna get you, big baby. Devin, how you feel about Big Dummy acting like a whole ass? A whole ass.
I thought it was insane that he had such a strong reaction to that Lucky incident anyway, because I just thought the whole thing was super stupid. But it's so funny, Jackie, because when I first saw the screen grab of this comment from Big Baby Dumbass Baby, what you say, I was thinking like Lucky, what player goes by Lucky? Is that a nickname? I was so confused because to me that was so insignificant, that Lucky the Leprechaun moment, but it still stands out in his head. So here Kyrie is suffering from an injury. He might be out. This is a tragic end to a season, potentially a tragic end to a season. I don't want to speak too soon. And he's over here worrying about a logo, a mascot. Come on, stupid, dumb.
Let me tell y'all something. I've been on a panel or two with Big Dumbass Baby, and y'all need to start calling him my name. The dumbass is a relevant thing. Something is wrong. This man is a few cans short of a 6-pack. But he probably drank all of them because the man just eat everything in sight. No love for this man, none at all. So much so that we're gonna move on to this next one, because if I could side eye him the way that Savannah is side eyeing Drake, I would do that. This one's weird for me because I love Drake, but if I was married, I don't know if I would want my husband to be friends with Drake. But that's just me. But LeBron and Drake showed up at Bronny's school for his game. Y'all can see them walking in. And it's cool. When I first saw Drake walk in, I was like, why the hell? Why is he coming to Bronny's game? And I was like, oh yeah, he's there with LeBron. But there's probably not. There's not one album that Drake has done, not one single that he has done that I do not own. That being said, my man got a baby by a stripper or a porn star or something like that. I just don't know if I want my husband hanging out with somebody like that. That's just me personally. Y'all take that how you want. But Savannah's face kind of lends to the fact that she's probably thinking like me. This person said Savannah heard Drake say some stuff like, nah, not her sister, and looked like she locked in to stop him 4th and goal. Like, look, she's like, what did you just say? What did he just say? That whole face says everything. I don't know what Drake said, but Savannah is not checking for it at all. It looked like Bron's like, yo, shut up. She's sitting right there. Now I can't have these conversations right here. And I love how Twitter just decided to figure out what is going on in this situation. This one said Bron sleeping on the couch tonight. I don't know what was said, but that look that Savannah gave looks like that might be a thing, but they got a big ass couch, so it's fine. This one said she definitely had that. So is he always going to be at the games with you? Combo with LeBron on the way home. Factual statement. That was definitely one of those about your little friend. If a woman ever says little in front of friend, just know she don't like him. That about your little friend, Little is a world-renowned way of saying I do not like this person. Devin, what do you think? What do you think Blake said?
So I'm not sure that it was a specific thing that was said. I think that when I was watching the clips of these two at the game, they were really kind of like broing out, It was kind of like Savannah was on the outskirts, Drake and LeBron were celebrating, they were getting so excited, they were watching the game, and I think she probably just felt like, damn, I'm third wheeling right now. Like, this sucks. Okay. I think it was less about a thing that was said and more just like, I'm annoyed. These two are acting up.
I just felt like Drake had said something like, yeah, no, so my new girlfriend is, she used to do porn, but not anymore. And Savannah was like, here we go with this porn stuff. Like, I just feel like it was one of those moments, because Drake's taste in women is not the best. Y'all know this. So let's go on to this next one, though, because I think this user is absolutely right about, all this time that they get to spend at home with, Steph and LeBron. This is not normal. They're usually not home right now. They're usually, still making runs for it. So I think this user is absolutely right. Says, no funny stuff. I know Savannah and Aisha enjoy their husbands being home more in the last 3 years than normal. Yeah, it's about 3. Yeah, that's true. So if you see there, though, and I'm going to show you this clip, because here I've got a theory. I want to see what you in the chat think about it. Women have better hand-eye coordination than men, because if you see there, Dwayne Wade started this show called The Cube. LeBron is supporting this. I guess you can get a home version of it, which I'm going to have to do because this looks like a fantastic drinking game. So I'm definitely going to get it. But check out LeBron and Savannah playing this game.
Straight, man. Yes, I do. Just for 50,000.
This is go.
Savannah. Look at that.
4, 3, 2.
Ow, she done.
1.
Savannah totally beat LeBron now they won, they got it together, but I think women have better hand-eye coordination because Gabby also beat Dwayne Wade at his own game. Take a look at this.
We both gotta get it. Okay. But put the ball down. You gotta grab it once the beat go off.
One hand only. All right, focus.
Go. One ball.
Go! Come on, Chris! Come on, go!
And this is why he said during the People interview that we'd need therapy if we were going to compete on the cube together. Do you see? My basket of F's and balls are empty. So, you are the weakest link.
So, look, you guys, I think you guys should just get this game, play it, and send it to us. Play it with your girlfriend, because I want to see if my theory is right. If women have better hand-eye coordination than men, I know I'm right about that. But I just want to see y'all confirm it for me. Play this game with your friends, especially your girlfriends, and let me know what the results are. So I'm going to have to go to Devin on this next one, because you guys know I don't keep up with who's dating who's supposed to be talking to who's hanging. I don't know. So I don't really know what's going on with this rumor. But someone started a rumor that James Harden Cash App Swati is, I guess, I don't even know who this is. Okay. Saweetie. Oh, can we spell these names better? This is just a lot.
Love it.
Okay, so Saweetie. It says Saw Edie. That's how it's spelled. If you say it phonetic, it's Saw Edie. But it's Saweetie, whatever. That he cashed apped her $100,000 to go on a date with him. And so he had to address it. So this is the tweet. This is the original one that said James Harden responds to this whatever rumors via his Instagram stories. So let me just blow it up for you so you can make sure you read it, because I just don't understand why he would even have to address this. But his first one says, people really on here just making stuff up for clout. I really stay out the way. Cash out 100K. Beat it. All right. Okay. Then this next one says, I'm tired of people creating these false ass stories knowing I really don't speak on BS. Leave me out of all the weird stuff. This is trash. Back to my real life. Okay, first of all, even if is there a rumor that they're dating? I got so many questions, Devin. Is there a rumor that they were dating or that he was interested in her? Number one. Number two, ain't she like a rapper? Why does she need 100,000 of James Harden dollars? What's happening here?
Right. Okay. So, this is my take on the whole thing. Saweetie did come out and said that James Harden cash apped her $100,000 to go on a date with him. We know James Harden has no problem paying women for their time and entertainment. He goes to the strip club all the time. He had his jersey hung at an exotic dance club in Houston. I mean, like, this guy really has shown that he has no problem with that. That being said, I don't think that he is desperate enough for Saweetie's attention to cash app her $100,000. I think that Cash App even has a limit of $7,500 that you can send. So for him to be going on there sending $7,500 over and over and over again until he gets to $100,000 sounds like a lot of effort that an NBA star with a name as big as James Harden would not be willing to go through. So I have never said this in my life, and maybe I'm using this word wrong, but I'm going to say I'm calling cap on this story. I've never said that ever. Is that what you say? Is that what you say?
Yeah, that's right. I usually say, I only use it when it's not a lie, and I'll say no cap. But yeah, Ty in the chat is cap also. So you're right, cap on that one. This is just one of those stories that I could have lived without. I could have gone without. I don't care. And you guys in the chat, JD says 50 Cent even addressed the Quavo. There's apparently this girl for the streets. That's what somebody said. So okay, congratulations, y'all, because now you poor James Harden got other things to worry about, like if he can come back for game 5, and y'all got him out here addressing, did I send this chick some money? Y'all leave this man alone. But let's move on to this next one, because this next one is probably going to be a mini what we not gonna do, because you guys know that Miles, I thought his last name was Leonard. Miles Leonard is doing some sort of, you remember when he said that racial slur and then pretended like he didn't know what it meant, but it was an anti-Semitic slur that he made. But now, anyway, now he's going on this whole, I guess, synagogue tour where he's going to different synagogues. So, okay, it is Miles Leonard. Okay, so take a look at this first tweet. It's a full-on flyer, you guys. It says, grow yourself, grow your game, this Thursday, June 13th at 11 a.m. So he went on this whole synagogue tour where he was going to different synagogues. So that one kind of confused me, and I think it confused other Twitter users as well. It says, Miles Leonard at a synagogue? Like, why? What the hell? But then I had to think about it, and I was like, okay, this tweet specifically, I was like, this is a good point. Nobody is perfect and humans make mistakes. He is learning and we should be proud of him for that. Because there was a lot of people that said, oh, you don't let him in. He doesn't like Jews, this, that, and the third. And then this user had a similar comment about the majority of the replies and quote tweets seem to have no idea that this is part of him trying to fix his mistake. I highly doubt the synagogue had no idea about his past. I'm sure they're trying to help. And I actually think that's what's happening. So regardless of the fact that I personally would not allow him in my synagogue if it was me, but I do understand him trying to make some sort of public amends because he made this wrongdoing was very public. And that's one of the things my dad used to always say, your apology has to be as big as the thing you did wrong. You just can't say, I'm sorry, and move on. You have to do something to make amends for it. So I think I commend him for making amends for it. With me, though, it's hard to take your amends seriously if it's public. This should be something that you need to rectify in yourself. I get it that, this thing happened publicly, but I just think this is, I don't know, the sincerity. It might be missing some sincerity on this one, but we're running low on time. So I would love to hear what Devin had to say, but I'm going to jump on to this next one because this one, y'all got it all wrong. Everybody said that Jake Paul was too scared to look Tyron Woodley in the eye. That's because y'all didn't watch the whole thing, but take a look. So this is the first one. It says, who could have seen this coming? Jake Paul allegedly too scared to make eye contact with the future fight opponent, Tyron Woodley, according to viral TikTok. So this is the video that TikTok posted. Someone on TikTok posted this video where, now this is the second one. So the second one is where he looks him dead in the eye. So what happened in the first one was the cameras were kind of getting set. So Jake Paul wasn't making eye contact. Tyron Woodley was, but Jake Paul wasn't. The second those cameras came on and they were for real, then that's when Jake Paul. So this is when the cameras are getting set. Neither one of them are really making eye contact. Tyron's making more than Jake, of course. But the second the cameras were set, Jake was on. Jake don't do anything. I don't even know if that man will go to the bathroom if the camera's not on. He just doesn't. That's not who he is. So you guys are wrong. The man had to wait until the cameras was on. But now let's move into this next one, because this next one is just one of the not fun. I was going to say least fun thing I've watched in a long, long time. And I'm tired of these little fake fights, to be honest with you. But this Twitter user said it absolutely right. Said Lamar Odom versus Aaron Carter might be the weirdest fight I've ever watched. That's an understatement. Take a look at this.
That's the thing. He started keeping himself on the outside. Don't go
Whoa. Aaron's in trouble. Aaron got a spin technique going. Watch out, Aaron. Run.
Aaron's got to go inside. Chuck's trying to break it up. Chuck's trying to bring it up.
Aaron, what is that spinning?
That's his spin. Let him have a spin right
Chuck
now.
warned him. Oh, my God. Look at
This is just too much for me. There was one point, here it is. Like, boy, just on his on his knees. Who sanctioned this? What? This is terrible. I don't like this. I'm gonna just go on to what this Twitter user. Look at my man's down there praying. And he's like, I don't want to get back up. I I don't want to get back up. It's too much for me. This is too much. And these are all the questions that we have to ask. It's a few things we got to talk about. One, is that Chuck Liddell? Yes, it is. That's the former MMA fighter. He was officiating this. Yes, it was. 2, why is Lamar sagging his boxing shorts? That was one of my questions. I don't know, and I didn't like it. 3, who the F sanctioned this fight? And 4, who matches these two up? Because Lamar a whole foot taller. There was a moment in time, though, I don't remember what round it was, but Aaron literally was like punching up, and Lamar was just letting them do it, tired himself out, and then hit him. And it was like, oh, if y'all missed that fight, all I got to say is congratulations, because that was a terrible, terrible fight. But let's move on to this next one before we get into what we're not going to do, because you guys, here, let me give you a word of advice. If you got to think about it before you hit somebody, number one, don't hit them. It's like dominoes. You study long, you study wrong. It's the wrong move if you got to study it that long. That's number one. Number 2, look at the hands being thrown here. We can turn the volume up, because this fight is all because, now watch my man think about it. Like, oh, I'm gonna hit him. And then now he's just gonna get beat up. That happened in game 3. And the Suns fan was like, Suns in 4. So now this video is living forever where you got your butt beat for something that was actually true. Congratulations, Denver Nuggets fan. You look silly. But that's all I got for the post up. So now let's get into what we not going to do. Because this one is, I'm team Le'Veon Bell with this one. And I'm going to explain why. A lot of people are very upset with Le'Veon Bell right now. We all know that the Chiefs had no interest in re-signing Le'Veon Bell. And he apparently is cool with that, because there was this post where somebody mentioned it, and Le'Veon basically said he would never play. Says Andy Reid probably feels the same, but Le'Veon said, I'll never play for Andy Reid again. I'd retire first. And this person said Andy Reid probably feels the same about Le'Veon Bell. Bell hasn't had a 20-plus yard run since Christmas Day 2017. His workload was modified, so I don't know if that's a fair statement. So I definitely agree with this next user who said, all of this Le'Veon Bell slander isn't correct. She said the Bell disrespect is kind of lame and unwarranted, as he has plenty in the tank, especially as a receiving back, not a workhorse. Yeah, you can't work people to death now. His role has changed, and you have to, if you're a good coach, then you know how to modify it. But people literally dragged him for what he was saying, and I'm not going to get into all that, but I'm going to get into how he responded to it. He said, I said what I said, and I don't regret at all what I said. For those who have a personal problem with me because of what I said, that's fine. You have your right. Just understand, I also have my right for how I feel about my personal problem with dude because of what he said to me. So obviously there's some animosity there. And then Le'Veon went on, he kept going. You can just kind of run it back. But this user, I think she's giving Andy Reid too much credit. She says, I doubt it very seriously that Andy would ever say something to someone that would talk to him like that. We have to be responsible for our own actions. Maybe he just hurt your feelings and you took it too personal. If you want to be a professional, you need to act like one. I'm not giving Andy Reid this much credit. I'm just not. This is also the same man that has covered repeatedly for his son, who is clearly an alcoholic and a drug addict to the point where he's ruined some child's life. So a person like that who can cover up that kind of whatever you want to call that, I'm not putting anything past them. So I think she's giving Andy Reid too much credit. Le'Veon said, never did I say I didn't enjoy my time in KC because I love my time there and was probably the closest locker room full of players I've been around. I enjoyed my teammates, the city, the food, the fans, just about everything in KC. And then he followed that up with, I'm not about to get all in depth on why I feel the way I do, but I have my right to feel the way I feel. The only thing I would change is commenting how I really felt on social media. So he basically says that that's something he shouldn't do. I'll admit that that's something I could have and should have kept to myself, and I apologize but about that and that only, but I do not regret what I said because it's how I feel. So this is what I agree with him. He says, you can love me or hate me. I'm going to be fine regardless. I'm just giving you a small version of my point of view on why I said what I said. I think he could have left all that part out. I don't think you owe anybody any explanation. If you don't like people, you don't like people. If you want to tell us why you don't like that person, that's fine. If you don't, that's also fine. If you want to say it publicly, that's fine. If you want to keep it to yourself, that's also fine. But how you feel about a situation when your name is constantly in some sort of narrative about that situation is your business. You deal with that however you want to deal with. And what we're not going to do is let people tell you how you're supposed to feel about a situation. If you feel like you should have kept it to yourself, fine. If you feel like you should have shared it, I'm going to rock with that too. But we're not going to absolve Andy Reid from something that we don't even know what it's about. Because again, Andy Reid clearly is the type of guy that he is capable of something, because I don't think you let people get away with something if you're not capable of something. So what we're not going to do is drag LeVeon Bell for feeling some type of way. This is a football player who wants to play football. And here's a guy, Andy Reid, who said something to him that LeVeon took personal. And I think that's okay. I think it's absolutely fine. I agree with the user that said LeVeon still has something left in the tank. But either way, LeVeon, I stand by you. I support you. If you don't like Andy Reid, I don't like him either. Not like in real time, because I don't know the man. But you know what I'm saying. I rock with you. So that's all we got for what we not going to do.
All right, Jackie, thank you for that. It looks like a lot of people in the chat disagree with you, which I feel like doesn't happen very often. Normally, we're typically on the same side here with the chat. Well, I would say 75% of the time.
What? There are people that come here specifically, even if I'm 100% right, they here just to say I'm wrong, because that's who they are.
Well, this is one of those situations. So for those of you who want to argue with Jackie, go ahead and type us a paragraph in the comments. Make sure you use proper punctuation. Maybe we'll talk about it on Fan or Foe this week on Friday.
No, I'm just going to put my thing out there. No paragraphs in Fan or Foe. I don't want to read no paragraph in Fan or Foe. No, I don't.
I love it. All right, you guys. Well, we are going to wrap up the show for the day. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So don't forget to tune in, subscribe, tap the bell, leave a comment below, share this video with your friends, and have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Oh, full screen Jackie.